just so you can start from the beginning and actually be ready this time? They say ostriches bury their head under the sand to avoid danger. Now, this is a myth, of course, but one that feels strangely familiar. I mean, haven't we all done that? When life feels uncertain or overwhelming, we often close our eyes, duck our heads, and hope the threat passes by. We avoid the blank canvas, the empty page, the silence. Back in the 6th grade, I taken the initiative to do this presentation on the Roman Empire. I thought to myself, I'm good with the content and I love speaking in front of the class. How hard can it be? But on the day of the presentation, everything went south. Everything I prepared, I forgot. My mind went completely blank and I started fumbling and people stared, some laughed. But I proceeded to skip through the entire presentation, rush to the end, and sit down with a fake smile while still my face burning. Now, a few weeks later, the teacher did give us another chance to do another presentation. And even though I was scared, I did sign up. This time, I practiced harder, spoke slower, and still I did manage to make a lot of mistakes. But hey, at least this time I didn't freeze. That awkward silence back in 6th grade, it became the soil of where I planted the seeds of where I am today. That moment of nothing became the start of everything, choosing to continue not despite the failure, but actually because of it. Now, how many times have you wanted to pack up your entire life into a single suitcase, disappear across the ocean, and let the ground swallow everything you were, just so you can start new, clean, unburdened, anonymous? Not to escape, but to reset. To step into a version of yourself that hasn't been burdened by titles, expectations, or mistakes. To rewrite your story, not on top of an existing one, but on a blank page. That's the human urge to create from nothing. Now, let's be honest. Some of humanity's greatest ideas came from avoiding doing laundry. Like you sit down to fold one towel and suddenly you've planned a startup, rebranded yourself as a minimalist, and solved world peace. I mean, if procrastination were a superpower, I'd have $1 billion app, 3 failed Shark Tank pitches, and a laundry pile so old it would have voting rights. Now, let's shift focus. When we think of reinvention, we think of these big dramatic changes, like turning into a completely different person. But real reinvention is actually quieter. It's getting back up after you fail. It's rebuilding your confidence. It's learning from your pain and turning that into strength. Now, when we choose to reinvent ourselves, we let go of past actions, old beliefs, old habits. And this mirrors ex nihilo, because we are trying to create something completely different out of nothing. Now, think of the mythical bird, the phoenix. Now, we know that this legendary creature lives for centuries, and then one day it just turns into ashes, and then it comes out radiant and alive. It becomes reborn. Now, the phoenix understands that destruction isn't a setback for it. It is what it is leading it to become more radiant. Why can't life be like that? I mean, sometimes we feel like our entire world is coming down. It's burning completely. But then we can also choose to come back radiant just like the phoenix. Now, I remember another time where I faced a blank page. So our English teacher gave us to do a poem for our school, and then I was 11 at the time, and I sat down for at least 3 hours working at that one poem. So she gave us the creative freedom to write a poem on anything. So I sat there nibbling at my pencil like it held the answer. I wrote the word rose, erased it. I wrote the word sky, erased it again. And at the end, I submitted a poem loosely based on multiple song lyrics. So reinvention isn't something that's very loud. It's actually really quiet. It's those sleepless nights you spend wrestling with what now? Or those long walks where you don't actually have a proper purpose. Or even those long journal entries where you're still contemplating about everything you're doing. Now, reinvention, it's something that means differently to all of us. Sometimes you don't have to actually change something. It might be shifting your perspectives. And the people who once feared public speaking may be the guiding voice for others, or someone who once failed a test may be the one tutoring someone else later. These labels that we carry, shy, awkward, or not good enough, at the end of the day, these are just labels. we're all works in progress. And one of the hardest truths to swallow is that not everybody will support the new you. Some people are invested in the old version of you. Some people will question your new passions, your new habits, your new fresh start. But that's okay, because we're not trying to prove anyone else wrong. We're trying to prove to ourselves that we're capable of more. And yes, change can be painful. It's letting go of whatever it is that's familiar and comfortable. But is it the comfort zone that is actually promoting growth? The entire world is built on reinvention. Seasons change, cities rise, technology evolves. Even nature realizes that it has to reinvent itself, year after year, cycle after cycle. Why can't we be any different? We're not designed to be static. We're designed to be fluid, adaptable, to move along with the world and to create from endings. Ex nihilo. Not a breakdown, but a beginning. Consider the Japanese art of kintsugi, where you put gold in broken pottery. So we love this metaphor for resilience, but what if that piece isn't just cracked? What if it's shattered beyond recognition? Because sometimes the life you are living, it expires. And in that quiet collapse, you're given this rare opportunity to begin again, not from what's salvageable or what's left over, but from scratch, from nothing. And our entire world, we see new things every day. And all of this is because of reinvention. When we think about great inventions and powerful ideas, we only see its end product, the applause. But we don't realize that everything started with nothing. And reinvention is a key factor to all of this. Now let's do this. Imagine you're in this vast library, this endless library where every single book is about you. Now some titles are painfully familiar, like The One Who Messed Up That Test or The One Who Never Spoke Up. There's even a title of a book that says The One Everyone Else Expected You to Be. Now, quietly tucked in one of the corners, you find this black book. Now this black book is titled The One Who You Could Be. But here's the twist. You're afraid because no one taught you how to write in this book. No one told you that, hey, it's okay to make a mistake. You can always start again. Let me tell you, I was this girl in this library for the longest time. And honestly, I still am. And I'm still learning. Every time I fall, I try, I get back up. That the book isn't scary because it's empty. It's actually powerful because it's mine to write. And today, all of you, you hold the pen of your destiny. You can reinvent yourself. You can change whatever it is that is bothering you. And here's the thing. You don't need permission to start. Or you don't even need to erase the old chapters because you just need to move on. We all grow up hearing a script. Study hard, pick a career, stick to it, retire. But what if that script wasn't the only way? What if life was not just a straight line, but a series of recreation? I mean, even the GPS, you make one wrong turn and it's recalculating. Life is a lot like that. One long road trip where life keeps readjusting and rerouting. So, I would like to conclude with this quote by Denzel Washington. Dreams without goals are just dreams, and ultimately they fuel disappointment. On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without discipline, you'll never start, and without consistency, you'll never finish. So, whatever it may be that you want to do, start a business, join a dance class, write a book, even to eat a spoonful of chili just to feel alive. Whatever it may be, take that first step. Because your nothing is the start of your everything. And if it feels scary, good job. That means you're doing something actually worthwhile. Or if you fail, that's okay. Welcome to the club. We